Coast Guard flyover here prior to the game, and it's admired by Drew Brees as well as Jonathan Vilma. And for more on Vilma, let's go down to Jennifer Hale.
Well, Dick, Jonathan Vilma giving the Saints team speech last night, telling this black and gold team never accept defeat, never stop fighting for what you believe in. Curtis Lofton told me, man, I heard that speech. It might have been 10 p.m. I was ready to put my pads on and play this game right then. Drew Brees has taken that type of vocal leadership, exactly what the Saints have been missing in the absence of Sean Payton and Joe Vitt. Talked to JV this morning, intensely focused, a little emotional. He told me, you know, I've never fought so hard for anything in my life as to return to football, and today makes it all worthwhile. Dick?
All right, Jennifer, there's no question that the presence of Vilma should give his team a big lift, and Aaron Cromer coaching his last game as the second interim coach. Joe Vitt will take over after this game. So Cromer, very proud of what he's done, and of course John Lynch talked about the impact that Greg Schiano has put on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have won the toss and deferred, giving the New Orleans Saints the ball to start the game. And Jonathan Vilma, by the way, was a captain during the coin toss. So we're going to see Drew Brees out early, John. And the kickoff, Darren Sproles will watch this sail out of the end zone. And so the Saints, and this may be a little bit of a surprise when you look at the success of Drew Brees, that he is only 6-6 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Absolutely, but I know one thing, I'm still not giving him the ball if I win the toss. I want the ball. Drew Brees, as good as there is in this league, a future Hall of Famer, and he's playing like it this year.
Why is everyone deferring that?
There must be something they know that we don't know.
So the Saints will start from the 20-yard line. First in passing in the league, but 30th in the run game. And the quick toss is out to Darren Sproles, and Sproles carries it to about 7 yards now. Jimmy Graham, the tight end, unable to play. They miss a big weapon there. So who are the impact players for the Saints?
Well, the impact players, Marcus Colston, on fire the last 2 weeks. Darren Sproles, we just saw him get the ball. Anytime he touches the ball, watch out. And Mark Ingram, we talked about the commitment to the run. They're going to give him his chance, along with Pierre Thomas, to get that run game going today.
2nd down and 3. And they'll run it to Pierre Thomas, and Thomas will get the first down. Let's take a look at the Bucs defense, and this is kind of a subtle number that we point out with Tampa Bay's defense.
Well, great defenses, and I'm not saying they're there yet, but great defenses play in the opponent's backfield. 48 plays for negative yards. It leads the NFL. It's the hallmark of this group. They're aggressive, they're physical, and they come downhill at you.
And they're going to need that today against this prolific offense, the Saints. First down at the 31. They give it to Pierre Thomas again, and another good game for Thomas as he loses his helmet, getting 6 yards on first down.
There's the commitment to the run game. Pete Carmichael Jr., the offensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints, says you're going to go to your nickel package. We're going to run the football. They talked about getting more to balance as an offense, and they're demonstrating it early on here today.
Ben Grubbs is a left guard, the former Raven and a Pro Bowler who replaced Carl Nix, who's now with Tampa Bay. Thomas in motion to the slot right on 2nd and 4. Brees looking for somebody, and will go out of bounds shy of the first down. And that will bring up 3rd down and short for the Saints. Saints 3rd in the league on 3rd down conversions. So let's see how the Tampa Bay defense does defending the 3rd down. Mark Ingram, trying to get Ingram going is this team, and you pointed that out for an impact guy early. Has checked in. 3rd down and 3. Brees throws, tipped, and intercepted. Rondé Barber. Rondé Barber tipped the ball, and Gerald McCoy, 30 yards.
First of all, you're going to see off the edge, Dakota Watson gets Drew Brees to step up. Gerald McCoy gets that hands up, and you could put him in a throwback uni, a new uni. Whatever uni he's in, Rondé Barber does one thing. He makes plays. Again, his 46th career interception. He's always around the ball. Drew Brees knew it. The deflected pass by Gerald McCoy. The interception, I guess that's why you defer the kickoff.
78-yard interception return for a touchdown last week by the 37-year-old Rondé Barber. And the Buccaneers will have a first down inside the 15. Big opportunity for Josh Freeman. And the Bucs, and the pass is caught in for the touchdown, Tequan Underwood. That didn't take long, 13 yards. And Tampa Bay takes the lead.
One of the things that Josh Freeman talked about is the versatility of his wide receivers. All of them can play the slot or go outside. Tequan Underwood, one of those, he's going to run a little drive route, come in underneath. The Saints drop him in coverage. Easy touchdown for Josh Freeman and the Buccaneers.
Former New England Patriot, only his 7th catch of the year and his first touchdown reception. And Connor Barth. And this crowd is pumped up. And it's 7-0 in favor of the Buccaneers. Less than 3 minutes into the first quarter. McCoy with the tip and the pick by Rondé Barber. He's done it throughout his entire career.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
And a quick start, and Underwood with his first career touchdown, giving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their creamsicle throwback uniforms the early lead, 7-0, taking advantage of the tip pass from Brees and the interception by Rondé Barber. And now Darren Sproles looking to return the kick, and will not, as it goes deep into the end zone, 8 yards. And the Saints will go again from the 20.
Dick, we take a look at that last touchdown for the Buccaneers. 3-on-2 for the Saints defense. Clear miscommunication. Jonathan Casillas, I believe, should come off on Underwood. No one does. Easy touchdown off the turnover for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The miscommunication with the new defensive coordinator has been what's been ailing these New Orleans Saints, and they got to find an answer.
So the former Patriot, Tequan Underwood, with the touchdown catch, and Rondé Barber out there. New position for him. Safety this year. And on first down, here's Drew Brees. And he goes underneath, in the pass caught by Devery Henderson. And Henderson, after a 5-yard gain, is hit by E.J. Biggers. Biggers, who is starting and has for Aqib Talib, who was suspended 4 games last Saturday for violating the performance-enhancing drug rule of the NFL. And this will be his 18th start of his career, so he's been there.
He has been there, and E.J. Biggers has come up big in replacing Aqib Talib, who's a very good cornerback when he does play.
And the Saints calling a timeout. So a timeout. Greg Schiano's defense now coming out to talk to the official. We'll be right back.
This game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer of NFL fans. Here we go.
Saints calling a timeout. It looked like they had 12 men on the field. So the early timeout, and the Saints will have a 2nd down and 5 on their 25-yard line. Mark Ingram is the tailback. And here is Ingram trying to get former Heisman Trophy winner going, picks up 3 yards. Mason Foster makes the tackle.
And about Mark Ingram, you know, he's sitting here at 2.9 yards per carry average. That's not good. Aaron Kromer said that's a little misleading in that he is our short yardage and goal line back, but this is Mark's game to show that he's our lead back. We're going to give him every opportunity. They're giving him the ball early.
Scored 5 touchdowns last year. Now they bring in Pierre Thomas on 3rd down and 2. Looking left Brees again looking for a receiver, and Colston is there, and it's incomplete. So Marcus Colston well covered by Eric Wright, the former Detroit Lion, and 4th down, and the Saints will have to punt.
The Buccaneers have had success against Drew Brees in history. They know him, and they know if you can take away his first look, he's a rhythmic thrower. If you can take away that first look, you got a chance. Good coverage, tight coverage. You can test the throw. You take away his first look, and then a good job by Eric Wright of plastering his coverage, staying with Colston. A good pass breakup by Eric Wright.
Thomas Morstead will punt for the Saints. Roscoe Parrish catches it at the 15. Down the sideline before he goes out of bounds. 57-yard kick by Morstead. And so Josh Freeman comes out again, with the Saints trailing the Bucs 7-0.
Game on Fox is sponsored by the new 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost, by Windows 8, and by Pizza Hut. Make it great.
Beautiful afternoon in Tampa, and a beautiful day for Jonathan Vilma, who is on the field right now and now going off. Vilma missed the first 5 games while on the physically unable to perform list, recovering from knee surgery. Can also play next week before yet another ruling on that bounty situation. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers have a 1st and 10 on the 24. Here is Doug Martin, and Martin gets maybe a yard, rookie from Boise State. So Josh Freeman, who has obviously lost a lot of weight this year, coming off a slumping record, but not a bad mark against the tough Saints, 3-3 in his career.
Well, this matchup's been back and forth. Obviously, both quarterbacks at 500. That's what this series has been all about, and you know, it goes a long way to today. Both these teams starting out slow. Who can win today could propel them on to good things for the rest of the year.
Vilma in there on 2nd down and 9. Here is the slant. Freeman completes the pass shy of the 1st down. Up to the 34. Mike Williams making the catch and a gain of 8. Impact players for the Buccaneers, 2 of which were acquired in the offseason.
2 brilliant acquisitions. Carl Nix playing against his old team today. Vincent Jackson, an explosive wide receiver that's made our last impact player, Mike Williams, a better player because they have to pay attention to 2 wide receivers. Mike Williams really busting out. Vincent Jackson has paid dividends early as well for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now a 3rd down situation. The Buccaneers are 30th in the league, only 28% on 3rd downs. They only need a yard. LeGarrette Blount has come in, the power back. Play action to Blount, and the toss, and it's caught for the 1st down. Catch made by Eric Lorig, the fullback, out of the backfield, and a 1st down to the 39, a gain of 6.
The Saints come downhill. They're going to bring pressure up the middle. You're going to see Lorig go out to the flat. Curtis Lofton a long way to go in coverage. Josh Freeman, a nice job just getting the ball out to him. The hard sell on the play action, gets rid of the football. Good execution by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's what Josh Freeman said 3rd down's all about. He said relax and execute, and we'll get it going.
Will Smith very nearly got to Freeman. And a 1st down out to the 39. In motion, Nate Byam, one of the tight ends. And here is Freeman in the pocket, and his pass bounced. And Roman Harper, it was an incomplete pass, but Harper trying to make it on the short hop. Jonathan Vilma, however, made Freeman get rid of it, and nearly an interception by the Saints.
It's really interesting as we watch the pressure from Vilma right up in Freeman's face. Roman Harper told us as we sat down with him yesterday, and one of the things Freeman will do, he'll throw the ball high across the middle. We got to make him pay. Roman Harper sits back a little like a fair catch, and we'll see if that ball looks like a catch to me. It looked like it hit the ground live, but on the replay, that looks like a catch.
And here comes the challenge by Aaron Cromer. So our first challenge of the day.
Dick, they obviously won't get the return if it's overruled because they blew the play dead. But they may well get this interception as we take another look.
It's challenging the rule on the field of an incomplete pass.
So the Saints challenge the ruling on the field that it was an incomplete pass, and we'll return to Tampa in just a moment. Well, this is a quick one, and Jerome Boger will give us his feeling here. From the naked eye, it looked like a short hop, and when we looked at the replay, it looked like he might have made the catch. So here's Boger.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field will stand. Incomplete pass.
John, they need indisputable visual evidence to really change it and make it the interception. Harper's still claiming he grabbed it.
Well, to me, this is fairly indisputable. Watch as that. Does any part of the ball touch the ground? And to me, that's Roman Harper's hands underneath the football, and that's a catch. Again, I think you let that go, but it's got to be indisputable. That looked indisputable to me.
And he grabbed it. 2nd and 10 on the 39. And there's a flea flicker. Freeman is going to run with it and is going to get the first down as he slides into Saints territory at the 48-yard line, and he gets 13 yards. Flea flicker, normally downfield. He ran for the first down.
And that's a nice job by the New Orleans Saints safeties of staying back on the flea flicker, but a good job by Josh Freeman doing what I think he needs to do a little bit more of, running the football. It's a skill that he brings. It can move the chains for an offense. I think Josh needs to do a little more of it. Good coverage by the back end.
And a first down at the 48 of the Saints. Here's Doug Martin. And Doug Martin gets hit and gets good yardage. Malcolm Jenkins makes the stop after a gain of 8. And for our game break, let's go to Kurt Menefee in L.A.
Well, Minnesota's Adrian Peterson continues his remarkable comeback from that torn ACL last season. Look at this run. 13 yards for the score, puts the Vikings up over the Cardinals in a matchup of 4-2 teams. 7-0. His 3rd touchdown, but first since opening weekend. Dick and John.
All right, thank you, Kurt. And the Vikings trying to rebound from the loss to the Redskins last week. Right here at 2nd and 2.
They got RG3'd last week.
Question is, how will the Giants handle RG3 in today's game? 2nd and 2. And this pass thrown out of bounds, trying to get it to Vincent Jackson. And the tempers flaring at the 35-yard line. These two division rivals, the teams have split the season series every year since 2008. So it's been no New Orleans runaway between these clubs.
One guy I'm interested in watching is Carl Nix, the left guard, who came to Tampa from New Orleans as a free agent this year. I've been there before, coming back to Tampa as a member of a new team. And believe me, you love the guys on the other side, but you want to beat their brains in. And Carl Nix told us the same things. He said, I want to play my best game ever.
He didn't mince any words. DJ Ware. And he's going to get the first down. Harper came up from strong safety to make the tackle, but Ware, former Giant, gets 4 yards and a first down to the 36 of the Saints. So it's been the Bucs who have dominated this first quarter.
Why do you pay a guy like Carl Nix that much money? Because he's 350 pounds and he can move people. That hole right there generated by some movement by Carl Nix. This guy's a big athletic guy that can move people, that can move on his feet. He's playing with bad intentions today because he says, hey, the New Orleans Saints had a chance to sign me. They didn't. They're going to pay for that.
He wants this to be the best game of his career. Fake handoff, and the pass is tipped and nearly intercepted. Vilma nearly got a hand on it after the tip ball. And that will bring up 2nd and 10 on the 36.
And that's one thing they've been missing with John Vilma. John Vilma, one of the smarter defensive football players in the game. He studies diligently. He knows where things are going to be. He's the emotional leader of this defense and nearly has an interception on Josh Freeman. Just reading Freeman's eyes and getting underneath the slant route.
This is the 10th play of the drive. 2nd and 10. And there's a handoff to Martin. Doug Martin First down to the 15, and Martin is going to score. 36-yard touchdown run by the rookie Doug Martin.
Doug Martin is a guy that they love. They've been waiting for him to bust out. It's been coming. Here's Carl Nix again. They're going to run behind their big investment. He pushes Tom Johnson up the field. They seal. He makes Malcolm Jenkins miss. This guy's a special football player, and I think it's just waiting to bust out, and it may happen here today.
Connor Barth with the extra point. Second touchdown of the year for Martin, and his longest run of the season.
Carl Nix with the great block. Doug Martin with the vision, the strength to break tackles, and then the speed to take it to the house. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Well, the Saints defense, nothing to shout about so far this year. Steve Spagnuolo, in his first year as defensive coordinator, talking to some of his forces there.
Well, and they're at the bottom of every category, just about, and it comes down to simple things, making plays. Malcolm Jenkins missed the tackle on that Doug Martin run. You can talk about scheme all you want. Players have to make plays.
This is a team that has averaged 31 points defensively.
Watch it. You're going to see a good hole by Carl Nix and Eric Lorg, the fullback, but then Malcolm Jenkins comes up in position to make a tackle. Hard to do, but you got to do it. You got to make the tackle there. It's a 2-yard gain. Instead, it's a 36-yard touchdown. Players have to make plays.
And John, the Saints defense has not allowed less than 24 points in any game this year, and already they're in a 14-0 hole. First down and 10 from the 20. Third time the Saints have started from the 20. Here is Pierre Thomas with a good run of 5 yards on first down, and a flag is down. Saints have not crossed midfield yet.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Offense, number 12. That player's decline. Holding. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay.
2 holding penalties against the Saints. They declined the Colston hold, but Ben Grubbs, the left guard, and that'll set the Saints back to the 10.
Ben Grubbs, who replaced Carl Nix, and Ben Grubbs is a good player. Carl Nix is a great player. So you lost out there, and now you're in a hole. You backed yourself up. You're down, backed up in the game, 14-0. Can you stick with your game plan?
Here's Pierre Thomas. And Thomas maybe a yard and a half. Mason Foster, the middle linebacker, he's been playing well in tandem with Levante David, the weak side backer.
The Saints are behind the chains now, so they're going to have to pass. But 72%, that's too much. And I promise you, if their head coach, Sean Payton, were here, they would not be passing 72% of the time. He's a guy who believes in the run. When they've been successful, they've run the football. Their Super Bowl year, they were 6th in the league as a rush offense.
Second down and 19. Brees inside his 5, and this one will be caught by Colston out at the 25. Now, these players cannot talk to Sean Payton, who was suspended for the year, but you can, and you did.
I did last night. You know, I talked with Sean. He's been a good friend for a long time. Met him over at the Pro Bowl, and it's frustrating. It's hard. He's watching this game in New Orleans as a charity benefit. People paid money to sit with Coach Payton. He's chalk talking, and I'm sure he's not too happy with the way it's going thus far.
Third down and 4. Brees under pressure, and the pass caught by Colston, who gets the first down. And another penalty marker is down on the field after the 6-yard play.
Holding. Defense. Number 33. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is the first down.
So it'll be a first down for the Saints as Brandon McDonald.
Brandon McDonald's going to be a line in the slot. This play extends on for a while. We'll see where he got the hold. Right about there. Devery Henderson's holding his hands up saying, referee's holding me. and they were on it. Drew Brees does a great job of staying alive in the pocket like he always does. Aaron Kromer said, look, we're going to throw the football because we know we can, but we've got to get back to some balance in this offense.
Well, they had 1st and 20, and they ran Thomas. Now Mark Ingram is in at the tailback spot. Play action on 1st down, and on the run, this pass is caught by Devery Henderson. And Henderson wrestled down, and the Saints finally cross midfield, and do they ever. They get to the 28 of the Buccaneers. A 39-yard play before Brandon McDonald finally wrestles Henderson down.
Well, Devery Henderson has long been the New Orleans Saints' deep threat. He makes the big plays. Again, a miscommunication. E.J. Biggers and Brandon McDonald, they're doing a combo coverage, except they forgot to combo Devery Henderson. He runs loose, and Drew Brees, you give him space like that, he will find you and beat you every time.
And a big play, officially 40 yards, and here's the handoff to Darren Sproles. And Sproles getting close to the 20-yard line, gets about 8 yards.
And Dick, we talked about this team and when they've been successful. You look 2007, 2008, they lit the thing up in terms of records. But look at their records, 7-9, 8-8. The years where they've run the football, 6th in rushing in 2009, won a Super Bowl. Last year, 6th in the league, 13-3. This year, 30th. And they're 1-4. There's a direct correlation between balance and success rushing the football and your record.
2nd and 2. Here's Mark Ingram. And Ingram is stopped short of the 1st down. May have picked up a half a yard on the play. But 70% passing doesn't get it done, really, as far as nowhere near the balance you want.
No, you know, and Drew Brees, future Hall of Famer, yes, he'll set records. But are you going to win games? You got to stay committed to the run and do it enough. And they've done that thus far.
Now faced with a 3rd and 1, and Pierre Thomas has come in. So they've shuttled in all of their backs so far in this 1st quarter. Brees' pass is caught by Lance Moore. And Moore will get the 1st down to the 17, gain of 2 yards. Eric Wright was on the coverage on Lance Moore, who was inactive last week against the Chargers.
You see their red zone. They've been extremely proficient this year. Watch out for Marcus Colston down here. This is where he shines. They like to put him in the slot. Drew Brees has the ultimate trust in Marcus Colston.
And they have Sproles in there as well. Very tough man to match up with. So here's Brees, and going under Colston, has a 1st down, and Colston near the end zone. Touchdown. Saints score. And you called it, John. Marcus Colston, the go-to man when they're in the red zone, and a 17-yard pass by Brees to Colston for the Saints touchdown.
Here's Marcus Colston in a tight alignment. You know he's going to be going underneath. Again, you can't give Marcus Colston that much space. A well-designed play. Drew Brees' money man down in the red zone, Marcus Colston. This guy's on fire. That's his 5th touchdown in the last 3 weeks.
Well, what a low-key guy he was when we talked to him yesterday. Unassuming.
It's not often you see a great receiver who's not a prima donna in this league, and he is certainly not one of those.
Cut from a different mold for sure as Brees connects. So Garrett Hartley is on for the extra point. And they're going to review to see whether Colston got over.
It's about where the ball is when it goes over that pylon. His feet are certainly in.
And of course, all scoring plays are reviewed and will return to see if the Saints did indeed get the TD. And they're reviewing to see whether Marcus Colston did get over, and it looked like he did with his right arm, passing over the top.
It's all about the ball right there. Forget about his feet.
Doing the play. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So Marcus Colston, who has caught 3 passes for 38 yards, all on that drive, caps an 80-yard drive. And now Hartley is on for the extra point. There is the scoring drive. Leading the NFL of drives are 80 or more for the Saints, and Hartley kick is good, and it's now 14-7 in favor of the Buccaneers. They made a habit out of this. Brees to Colston. 53 times they have done that in their careers.
And it's all about trust. Drew Brees knows, hey, Jimmy Graham's not here, but I like my guys. He said, I love my matchups. We got Lance Moore back. We got Marcus Colston. We've got Sproles. And what I like is the commitment and the stick-to-itness of this Pete Carmichael Jr. sticking with their plan. It's really easy when you're down 14-0 to get away from your game plan. Instead, they stayed balanced, and it paid dividends on that drive.
And so Drew Brees extends his consecutive game streak. He broke Johnny Unitas' mark. Now 49 consecutive games with a touchdown pass. He threw 4 2 weeks ago against San Diego and has at least 1 TD toss in all 12 games he's played against the Buccaneers.
Just unbelievable. This guy, as good as he gets in this league, and you understand why when you meet him. He's so precise in everything he does. He outworks people, and then just tremendous talent.
Really has been into the end zone, and Thomas Morstead with a line drive kick, and Ben will see it bounce over his head and a touchback. Bucs will start from the 20. Well, talk about notable streaks. Drew Brees with a touchdown pass in 49 consecutive games. How about Brett Favre starting an NFL record 297 consecutive games? Joe DiMaggio, 56 straight games in 1941. That's a great mark. And Cal Ripken Jr. playing in 2,632 consecutive baseball games. And let's not forget Jimmy Johnson, who's won 5 straight Cup Series championships in NASCAR. That's the gold standard for streaks, and Drew Brees is right among them.
It's absolutely remarkable what he's done. And he's in a dogfight here today behind 14-7.
Interesting thing, though, for Tampa Bay is that they can't rely on 3-3-3s. They've got to get touchdowns and get points to keep up with the prolific Saints offense. Doug Martin, who scored from 36 yards out, carries and gets about 3.
When you look at this Saints defense, it's been a lot of struggling. You see 30th, 32nd points allowed, total defense and opponent yards per play. That's not good. That's near the bottom or at the bottom in 2 of those 3 categories. They've got to get better. There's Steve Spagnuolo, good football coach. They're struggling right now to learn his system, and it's showing up on the field.
Let's see if the Saints do clamp down here on the Buccaneers on 2nd down and 7. Play fake, and Freeman's pass is caught by Vincent Jackson. You mentioned the big pickup for Jackson from San Diego. And a 16-yard pickup here.
And it always starts with protection. Let's just watch up front. Good solid pocket for Josh Freeman. He finds his big receiver in Vincent Jackson, and that's something that they've got to show that they can do, this intermediate passing game. They're great down the field. We saw that last week. But in this league, you've got to do it with the short passes. You've got to do it with the intermediate and then take your shots up top.
So Freeman's numbers so far. Meanwhile, Jackson, who has been bothered by a sore calf, has scored 4 touchdowns this year. First down at the 39, and on an end around, here's Aurelius Ben, and the Saints are there. They played it very well, and it was Jonathan Casillas, the weak side linebacker, that stops Ben after a gain of 2, and he does it in solid fashion. And that may be the last play of the first quarter, as Casillas took the brunt of that one.
Jonathan Casillas coming off a neck injury. He just threw his body in there, and I think he's a little dazed right now.
And a timeout with 10 seconds on the clock.
You watch Casillas play with speed and come in there. Aurelius Ben, a big boy himself, and Jonathan Casillas takes the worst of that one. You got to keep your head up when you go in there to tackle. I teach my boys' team that I coach, you don't keep your head up, you don't see what you hit, bad things are going to happen, and Jonathan Casillas just found that out.
And as tough as the numbers have been for the Saints defense, the fact is they did shut out San Diego in the last 27 minutes of the game 2 weeks ago, but of course they gave up a touchdown. Of course, a one-play 13-yard pass after Rondé Barber's interception. And then, of course, a 10-play, 76-yard drive to make it 14-0.
Well, part of the problem's been injuries. I mean, this is a team that linebackers, all of them didn't practice till the first week of the season. They were not there in preseason. They all had their nicks. Jonathan Casillas, one of those. and they've paid the price for not being healthy.
And time runs out. That's the end of the first quarter. The Bucs 14, Saints 7. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Jonathan Casillas walking in his own power into the locker room. Jonathan Vilma is out there now at linebacker as we start the second quarter. Dick Stockton along with John Lynch and Jennifer Hale. Buccaneers lead 14-7. Second down and 8 on the 41. Doug Martin breaks one tackle and dives and gets the first down, and a good block by Tyquan Underwood. Robinson makes the play after Vilma had missed the tackle.
And you just mentioned it, missed tackles. That's what's been ailing this defense. Look, John Vilma, a lot of excuses. He hasn't been out there on the field. He's rusty, but you got to make tackles. And when you're in the open field, it's hard against these NFL running backs. I've been there, but you got to do it. And if you want to be a good defense, forget about a great defense. You want to be a good defense, number one thing, you better tackle.
How about wide receivers who can block downfield?
Absolutely.
So those are Martin's numbers so far. Pretty impressive, including a touchdown from 36. First down and 10. Play action for Freeman. And wide open is Luke Stocker. And Stocker getting inside the 15-yard line. Luke Stocker with a 33-yard pass was open downfield. Robinson making the tackle. And the Buccaneers threaten again.
I want you to watch where Luke Stocker starts out right in this little bunch. He's going to come across the formation and then going to leak out as Josh Freeman rolls to his right. Great execution, great design by Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator, and Josh Freeman with a nice throw to Luke Stocker.
And they mark the ball at the 17, so Stocker, who has only 3 catches this year, but 1 for a touchdown, with a big play there. Here's Freeman, and the pass caught near the goal line. Touchdown to Vincent Jackson. Question is, did he get in? And we know they review all scoring plays.
Let me show you something. When you've got a 6'5", 230-pound wide receiver, you see a one-on-one, you start salivating. And furthermore, you throw him the football. Josh Freeman does it. Let's see if he gets in. Right knee down. I think this one may come back to the 1-yard line.
You may be right about that one. Vincent Jackson, who has caught 4 touchdown passes. But at worst, the ball will be down at about the 2-yard line, and they're going to review whether Jackson made it into the end zone or not. We'll return.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Back here in Tampa, the reviewing as to whether Vincent Jackson went over or his knee touched, and I don't know whether his knee did touch.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And it's a touchdown, 17-yard pass. And very impressive for Greg Schiano's team to answer the Saints touchdown with one of their own.
And it appeared on first look that right knee went down, but I think, watch that knee. Did it ever get all the way down right about there? It looks like it stayed off the ground, so upon further review, I changed my mind as well. Touchdown.
5th touchdown catch of the year for Jackson, and Connor Barth makes it 21-7 in favor of Tampa Bay. Very impressive going 80 yards after Drew Brees brought the Saints back.
Absolutely. You got to answer, and that's what they did. Josh Freeman, I think, starting to hit stride in this offense, starting to feel comfortable within the confines of this offense.
And the Saints defense continues to be outscored. They have given up no fewer than 24 points a game. Here we are early in the second quarter, and the Buccaneers have already scored 21 on them.
One of the things on the field before the game today, I was talking to quarterback coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Ron Turner, and he said, look, Eli Manning's been running this system. It's a complex system for 8-9 years, and we know how long it took for him to have success. Josh had just got on this offense, and we were throwing so much. They scaled back the last couple weeks, and it looks like it's working.
And, of course, the question here, John, you want to run the ball and get more balance. It's still early in the second quarter, so you don't have to abandon that yet.
No, it's a 2-score game, and I think if you're the Saints, you got to stick. You're moving the ball well. You had one turnover that set up a quick strike, but other than that, you're moving the football well.
Michael Kanan will be kicking, and Darren Sproles back deep. Sproles, a big threat, 48-yard. His longest return, but we'll just see this sail out, and they'll start at the 20. Well, tonight, Foxtoberfest continues as our month-long extravaganza of epic matchups brings you exclusive coverage of Game 6 of the NLCS as the Cardinals once again look to clinch the pennant, while the Giants try to force a decisive Game 7. Legends are born in October, and our coverage of Game 6 of the NLCS begins tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Tell you what, our guys Joe Buck and Tim McCarver do it as well as anyone.
They sure do. And for many, many years. 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Mark Ingram. And Ingram knocked back by Levante David, the rookie from Nebraska. No gain. Well, Drew Brees coming into the stadium here, getting geared up, and you know, it works harder than anyone, and then the game started.
And into Rondé Barber. When he settles down and finds his old reliable Marcus Colston for a touchdown. They got to claw their way back in. 21-7 early in the second quarter.
And now Pierre Thomas checks back in at running back. And this pass is going to be overthrown, intended for Thomas. And he was well covered by the defensive end Michael Bennett. And Brees throws it away. Bennett having a career year at defensive end.
He really is. He's playing well, and this defense is playing well. You know, they had the awful game early in the year against the New York Giants. Other than that, when I turn on the film, they look like a top 10 defense to me. They're flying all over the field. Players have gotten better. They've got studs like Gerald McCoy, Rondé Barber. It's a good defense.
Third down and 10. Brees with time and completes it to Lance Moore for the first time. First down at the 33-yard line. Thread the needle for 13.
Look at how they deal with Michael Bennett. A little chip by Darren Sproles. Just get in his way before you come and help Zach Strief, your right tackle, up. Drew Brees, one of the great hard hitchers, as Greg Schiano calls it. And a hitch is when you step up in that pocket. And what he does there, he buys time for guys like Lance Moore to get through those windows, and then the accuracy that is so well known with Drew Brees.
From the 33, here's Thomas. And Thomas picking up a couple of yards. So far, the Buccaneers' run defense has been outstanding, and that's what they've done this year. They've held opponents to an NFL low 3.1 yards per carry.
It's been really good. You know, I did their preseason games, and they really weren't sure with this new scheme that Greg Schiano and defensive coordinator Bill Sheridan, they talked about wanting to be downhill. And we'll show you throughout the game, these guys are playing downhill. There's Bill Sheridan, the defensive coordinator.
2nd and 8, there's Sproles. And this time Brees down the sideline to Devery Henderson, who breaks a tackle and gets inside the 40-yard line, and Henderson is knocked out of bounds at the 36. And it was Mark Barron, the rookie safety, who missed the tackle, and the Saints get 30 yards.
Well, again, you give Drew Brees this much space. You see Eric Wright just get beat at the line of scrimmage. He thinks they're throwing the screen to Darren Sproles. Sproles often used as a decoy. You see Eric Wright bite. You give Drew Brees that much space, and he eludes the great rookie safety Mark Barron. Devery Henderson making big plays today.
First down on the Buccaneers 36. Here's Darren Sproles. Sproles and almost gets another first down. If it weren't for Barron, the #1 pick from Alabama, he might have gotten it. He got awfully close, however.
You know, Dick, one of the things I've talked with Sean Payton about before, I'm talking last year, what he was most surprised with Darren Sproles, he knew he'd be great outside on the outside runs. He's a great inside runner. They haven't done enough of that this year. I'm seeing it today.
Well, they got Mark Ingram in there now on 2nd and 1. They fake it to Ingram. And there's a pass caught by Colston. And Colston is wrestled out of bounds near the 10 by Barron. So Colston, old reliable, gets 17 yards, and the Saints come right back.
Well, when you run the football enough, when you do it enough and stay committed, play action starts working. The linebackers suck up. Marcus Colston gets space behind those linebackers. Drew Brees, a terrific play-action passer. Everyone thinks about him as a drop-back passer. He's wonderful at the play-action game as well.
Colston with 4 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. It'll be 1st and goal. Here's Ingram. And maybe a yard, and it was Michael Bennett, the defensive end. And you look at the fact that Daquan Bowers has been hurt. He's going to come back pretty soon.
I'll tell you what, you see Mark Ingram right there? He doesn't look right to me. He doesn't look like the guy I saw last year. I know a lot of Saints fans are saying, what's wrong with Mark Ingram? They were going to give him his opportunity. He just doesn't seem to have that juice, that giddy up in his step that I saw last year.
Chris Ivory inactive in this game for the Saints. 2nd down and goal. Fake, and they go underneath to Sproles, and he scores. Touchdown Saints. Brees with his 2nd touchdown pass. This one a 9-yard toss to Sproles, and the Saints come right back.
Dick, we talked about his money man down in the red zone, Marcus Colston. He did a terrific job on this play of using Colston as a decoy. He pumps to Colston here in the slot. Watch the pump. Boom, that gave Sproles the space. You give this guy a little space, he's going to get in the end zone. Manipulates the coverage with his eyes, with his pump. The rest is done by Darren Sproles.
3rd touchdown catch of the year, and Hartley with the extra point. So we have had touchdowns on the last 3 possessions in this game. 9 yards, 9 plays, 80 yards, Sproles. And it's a 1-touchdown game. Very impressive for the Saints. Their 2nd touchdown drive of 80 or more yards. This took 9 plays. And actually, we have had touchdowns on the last 4 possessions of this game. The Buccaneers have had the ball 3 times and scored each time. One coming off of a turnover. Or as a result of one, as Aurelius Ben trapped inside the 10. And great kickoff coverage by the Saints. And it's Johnny Patrick who makes the tackle.
Sponsored by Chevrolet. From kickoff to the last yard, Chevy runs deep.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers will begin on the 8-yard line. That's their worst starting field position. There you see the first 3 possessions of the Buccaneers. The first one came after a Rondé Barber interception and a 1-play touchdown pass to Tyquan Underwood. So this is a good situation for the Saints trying to climb back. Have the Buccaneers backed up to the 8. See if their defense can do it. Here's Freeman's pass to a wide open Mike Williams. And Mike Williams brings it out to the 25, and just like that, 17 yards and a 1st down, Tampa Bay.
Well, Josh Freeman says, all right, Drew Brees, if you can do it, I can do it too. Going to fake the toss outside, little play action, opens up space for Mike Williams. A good accurate throw by Josh Freeman. We'll see if the Bucs can go the long way. The Saints have gone two drives of over 80-plus yards. See if Josh Freeman can match that guy, Drew Brees.
Mike Williams has had back-to-back 100-yard games. Having a great season, and Vincent Jackson, one of the reasons why, supporting him. 1st down at the 25. Freeman. And incomplete. And it was LeGarrette Blount, the running back, who was the intended receiver, and that time Cameron Jordan put good pressure on Josh Freeman.
And Cameron Jordan has had a good season. This guy's a better football player than he was last year. He's developing, the 1st-round draft choice from 2011. Puts pressure on Josh Freeman.
He said, week in, week out, I've found ways to improve, and he says, mistakes happen when you try to be too perfect. Interesting.
Josh Freeman, I think there's a little bit, as we see the time of possession with Josh Freeman, of just pull the trigger. Trust your training during the week and then let it go on Sundays. He said that's the greatest lesson he's learned from Greg Schiano, is to relax come game day.
2nd down, and here is LeGarrette Blount, normally the closer for the Buccaneers when they need it at the end. Stop for no gain by Curtis Lofton.
See Josh Freeman A little relaxed, getting relaxed, and you'll relax. You're throwing touchdowns to Tyquan Underwood. He's been under some duress, but it always helps to throw to those big receivers. Vincent Jackson on another touchdown.
3rd down and 10. DJ Ware is in at running back. Freeman's numbers so far: good percentage, good yardage, and 2 touchdowns. Freeman has it tipped at the line by Cameron Jordan. So the Saints, who forced the Buccaneers to start from the 8, will force a punt here.
You can't get to the passer. We see it week in, week out. Get your hands up. Cameron Jordan does a great job of it. Even goes after the interception after he tips it. Even a 6'5", 6'6" Josh Freeman can't get it over Cameron Jordan's outstretched arms. Little momentum for the Saints.
So Michael Kanan will punt, and an opportunity for Darren Sproles, and there the Saints jumped, and let's see whether they were drawn off or not.
Offside. Defense, number 95.
Martez Wilson.
5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So it'll still be 4th down. They'll need 5 yards for the 1st down now, and so Steve Spagnuolo That was Greg McMahon, the special teams coach. And here is Sproles on the return, looking for running room. Broke a tackle, going to get some yardage. Flag is down from behind Sproles at the 30-yard line. Sproles is tackled at the 36 after the 59-yard punt by Kanan. But this one will be coming back.
Holding. Return team. Number 93. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
So the Saints penalty on Junior Gillette will move the ball back to the 21.
The Saints defense led by Cameron Jordan starting to get a little momentum. It's a 1-score game. New Orleans with the football.
1st and 10 at the 21 for the Saints. Trailing by a touchdown. Here's Drew Brees in rhythm. Completes it for the 1st down out to the 33 to Lance Moore. And a gain of 13.
You know, in talking to Drew Brees yesterday, one of the things he said, when you run the football, it sets up play action. But what it does, it takes a little bit off that offensive line. You keep the defense on your heels when you run the football. And when you can give Drew Brees time, he will shred you up. And the play action only gets set up by the run. They're doing it well today.
174 yards passing already for the Saints. And here is Pierre Thomas. And Thomas is wrestled down by Roy Miller after a gain of 6. So after a slow start, the Saints have picked up their offense, scoring touchdowns. And you mentioned 80 yards in the last 2 drives.
And there's Pete Carmichael Jr., the offensive coordinator. Got some experience calling plays after Sean Payton was run down on the line of scrimmage by Jimmy Graham last year, broke his leg. Pete Carmichael started calling the plays, doing a nice job of doing it today.
2nd and 4 from the 40. Thomas, and it was Levante David, the rookie from Nebraska, did not give Thomas a chance to get underway, and a big play and a loss of 4.
Just hear this. I've always believed you can hear a good tackle, and Levante David, he's a great tackler. This kid, special player, a rookie. You see him right there. He's calling the signals. They gave him the responsibility. We talk about leading the league in lost yardage plays, negative yardage plays. He's done it more than anybody. 7 coming in today. There's his 8th of the year.
Crowd into it on 3rd and 8. Brees has all day, and he completes it into Buccaneer territory. Lance Moore once again. 16 yards with Rondé Barber defending.
Again, you give this guy time, and the Bucs choose to go with a three-man rush. You give Drew Brees this much time, he slides in the pocket, and he finds guys like Lance Moore who know how to get open. There's tremendous chemistry. They've played together. You got to bring more than 3 against Drew Brees. You can do it occasionally, but again, he will eat you up if you give him time.
Well, they miss Graham, who's a tough mismatch, but they get Moore back after missing the San Diego game. First down on the Tampa Bay 48 for Brees. Going to the air again and going deep downfield. And the pass caught by Joseph Morgan. And Morgan gets over for the touchdown.
Drew Brees said, listen, I know Jimmy Graham's out, but I love my matchups. Watch the pump. Effective pumping of the ball. He manipulates the coverage, draws Eric Wright up. See Eric Wright in coverage. He's going to look in that backfield, see the pump. Joe Morgan goes right by him. Touchdown, Saints.
Only the 3rd catch of the year for Morgan, but he earlier caught an 80-yard touchdown pass from Drew Brees. A 48-yarder to Morgan as Brees goes deep.
What a great job of staying up on his feet, too. Joe Morgan, his knee never touched the ground. Tremendous job.
And now looking to tie the game is Garrett Hartley with 4:35 remaining in the first half. And we're tied at 21, and what a shootout we have here in Tampa. All tied at 21. Well, Tuesday on Fox, the X Factor is on a special night in time. Find out who will move on to perform on the big stage. The X Factor, all new on a special night in time this Tuesday at 9:30 p.m., 8:30 Central on Fox.
I caught it the other day. I turned on the baseball game. We had a little rain out, and the X Factor was on. Good show. Great talent. Great talent here.
I may have to DVD it, but I'll see it. Tremendous shootout, and so we've always talked about the Saints' weapons, and you can add Joseph Morgan to the list, but it's been an uphill climb season. This team trying to win their 2nd after losing 4 straight.
Well, can you imagine all the challenges that they've gone through? Drew Brees, he wasn't signed until right before the season. They lost guys like Carl Nix. You throw in the whole bounty situation. They think they're going to lose at the most their defensive coordinator for part of the year. They lose him. They lose their head coach. They went through a hurricane in the preseason. I mean, they've gone through everything. And pardon the pun, but they feel like they've weathered the storm. They're back in this thing, and they're showing it today.
And you know, with so much of the season remaining, you're never really out of it, despite the fact that Atlanta has started off 6-0, having their bye week. The Saints still have their eyes on challenging for that NFC South. Aurelius Ben will take it out at the 20-yard line. Well, it began quietly enough back on October 18th, 2009. A home game against the Giants. Drew Brees hit Jeremy Shockey for a touchdown pass late in the first quarter. Little did we know then that that was the beginning of a streak of consecutive games with a touchdown pass. This is the last one to Morgan. 48 yards for the score, and Brees has brought the team back after falling behind early. 21-21, 49 straight games with a touchdown pass. That's the ongoing NFL record now, and he's got 3 in this one. First down at the 20 for Tampa Bay. Doug Martin going outside, and Martin picking up good yardage and gets 8 yards. Patrick Robinson, the cornerback, had a shot at him and missed.
Remember, Evan, this is something that came from Sean Payton years ago. A quarterback's best allies, good defense and a running game. They've done the running game. This defense got to come to the party. They did on the last drive, but you got to start making plays at the moment of truth. That's what this NFL is all about. Do you make the play or not make the play? We'll see if the Saints can do it.
Well, they've gone 80, 80, and 79 yards in their last 3 possessions for scores. Now putting the burden on the defense. 2nd down and 2. Freeman, first down to Mike Williams. Robinson all over him after a 6-yard pickup And they move the chains out to the 34. Saints 159 yards this quarter. Tampa Bay 81. At one point it was 21-7 in favor of the Buccaneers after they took the early 14-0 lead, but New Orleans have come back. First down at the 34. Fake a handoff or fake a pass, and Martin picks up a yard. Roderick Bunkley got some penetration in there for the Saints defense up front.
One thing you don't have to worry about with the Buccaneers is balance, because Greg Schiano, true and true, believes in running the football. He believes in running the football, and then when you get your shot, you take it down the field. He says, if we're going to throw it, let's get our money's worth, and they've lived up to the billing. That's what they've been, and there's balance. 11 rushes, 13 passes here today.
And John, they've outrushed the Saints 85-37 so far. Second down and 9. LeGarrette Blount alongside Freeman. Freeman's pass incomplete, and it was intended for Tyquan Underwood. And third down coming up for the Bucs.
If you're Tyquan Underwood, you got to be willing and able to enter that fire. You go across the middle. Receivers don't always like that, but you got to step into that danger zone.
Even the thin, wispy ones. Third down and 9.
Critical third down, because the Saints clearly starting to get the momentum in this football game.
Freeman dumps it off to DJ Ware, and Ware will be stopped at the 40. So the Saints defense clamps down. A 6-yard gain. Issa Abdul Kudus coming in to make the play for New Orleans. And the clock will run down to the 2-minute warning. Fourth down coming up, and Darren Sproles goes downfield. And the 2-minute warning here in Tampa, all tied at 21. Well, the gangman style is in rage here in Tampa as well.
Looks like Michael Jackson or maybe Jimmy Johnson. He was doing the gangman style on our studio show last week.
Fair catch by Darren Sproles. And coming up, the Visa halftime report. And here's what's coming up. Here's Kurt.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we'll have highlights from around the league, including an unbelievable first half for Chris Johnson and a battle between the only two AFC teams with winning records, the Ravens and Texans. It's all coming up on the Visa halftime. See you then.
Michael, he's coming back from New York.
First down on the 28. Drew Brees handing off to Sproles, nothing doing, and a loss of about 4.5 on the play.
And yet another negative play. When you ask, all right, what's it mean playing downhill? That's what this defense does. They come in your backfield. Guys like Michael Bennett, the second wave coming with Levante David, they get downhill on you.
Swinging out to Sproles, jukes one guy, and then steps out of bounds as he sees Rondé coming into the picture. Missing the tackle was Biggers in an 8-yard gain.
My goodness, the athleticism of Darren Sproles. I played against Darren Sproles a lot. When he was with the San Diego Chargers, I was with the Denver Broncos. And that guy in space, tough deal, not easy.
How about a rebound from the first quarter for Drew Brees? How impressive are those numbers? Third down and 5 at the 39. Brees threads the needle again on the slant to Lance Moore, and a first down. So Moore, how reliable he's been, a gain of 13 yards. Saints have only one timeout remaining.
And Dick, you know, we asked Brees about missing Jimmy Graham. He said, I got Lance Moore back. We'll be fine.
Moore's caught 5 passes. And this one caught by the tight end David Thomas, who replaces Graham as a tight end. Different styles. He gets 7 yards with Barber making the tackle. Saints down to the 1 timeout. They called one early, and then a timeout charged to them as a result of a challenge that was denied. 2nd and 3. Brees is hit and has the wherewithal to throw it out of bounds, avoiding the loss. Daniel Teo Nesheim with the pressure on Brees. 3rd down and 3. 38 seconds remaining. Buccaneers have not used any of their timeouts. For Hartley, right now be a long one. 53 yards has been his best kick of the year. 3rd and 3 from the 47 of Tampa Bay. Brees' pass, and it's held on and caught by Lance Moore. His 6th catch of the first half, gaining 9. And a hurry up as well, under a half a minute to go. And the whistle blows. Clocking the ball was Brees, stopping it at 26.
We go back to this last play, and there's Lance Moore. And watching the New Orleans Saints over the years, when there's a big situation, whether it be 3rd down, 4th down, Lance Moore is a guy that Drew Brees consistently goes to. You think about the 2009 Super Bowl, the big 2-point conversion, it was Lance Moore stretching the ball. He's their big down receiver.
Right now it would be a 55-yard field goal attempt. If they don't gain any more, 2nd down and 10, and this pass is caught by Moore. And in the first half, Lance Moore has tied his season's high with 7 catches. This one gets him 18 yards, and I don't think Drew Brees is thinking field goal at all right now.
Well, Drew said, look, Jimmy's out, and he's a tremendous player, but it means more opportunities for other guys, and he mentioned Lance Moore repeatedly as a guy who would step up, and he's certainly doing that today.
Ball now at the 20. Still with 1 timeout left for the Saints. 1st down. Fake a handoff. Drilling it up the middle. Touchdown to David Thomas.
That man is on fire right now. And I tell you what, Josh Freeman and this offense better score touchdowns, because this defense is going to have a tough time stopping him.
He was a surgeon going downfield, threading the needle, completing passes in rapid-fire fashion.
There's David Thomas. Watch the play action. Hold the linebackers. Hesitate 1 step in this league and you're beat with a guy like Drew Brees, and David Thomas doesn't go with the dunk, the little finger roll. Touchdown for Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints.
Only the 4th catch of the season, as Garrett Hartley with the extra point following the 20-yard touchdown pass from Brees to Thomas. So Drew Brees, who threw 4 against San Diego 2 weeks ago, has already thrown for 4 scores in the first half.
The play action's been key today. Again, he who hesitates loses. The finger roll by David Thomas. You got to know your limitations. You can't dunk, go with the layup.
And Drew Brees primed, and I'm sure the presence of Jonathan Vilma has really buoyed this team dramatically when they announced that he was going to be active. And the offense has been brilliant today, and Aaron Cromer basking in the glow of a 28-21 lead after the Saints had fallen behind twice by 2 touchdowns. And Drew Brees now with 299 touchdown passes in his career.
And Aaron Cromer, the interesting thing, you see another record by Drew Brees. Aaron Cromer next week goes back to being the O-line coach. Remember, he's the interim to the interim, who's Joe Vitt. And Joe Vitt coming back to this team next week.
Serving his 6-game suspension, and Morstead kicking off. And the ball will go out of bounds. So the Buccaneers will have the ball on the 40 with 15 seconds remaining.
Number 6.
But what an explosion we've seen in an early shootout here.
Tampa Bay.
And all of the flurry early for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now the Saints. Well, it's been a carousel of head coaches for the Saints over the last year, as he mentioned. October 2011, right here, Sean Payton injured in a sideline collision. Training camp began. Joe Vitt served as a coach. Then he began his suspension, and Aaron Kromer took over. This is Kromer's final game, and as you mentioned, Joe Vitt returns when the game ends and will be the head coach for the rest of the season. 15 seconds remaining in the first half. And the crowd deflated somewhat by the Saints' explosion. And Freeman will go down. Junior Gillette will get credit for the sack. And that'll do it. That will end the half. That's the first sack of the game by the Saints defense, and a loss of 5. So the early start for Tampa Bay fizzles, and Drew Brees took over the game at least to the half with 4 touchdown passes. 28-21, the Saints lead the Bucs, and we'll be back after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Teams getting ready for the start of the third quarter with the score, the Saints 28 and the Buccaneers 21. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. And for the first time in his career in the first half, 300 yards passing and 4 touchdowns for Drew Brees.
What can you say? It didn't start off real well. Early on that first drive, a little picked interception by Rondé Barber, but he stuck to it, and he's been just unbelievable in this first half.
The last one was a work of art, and you almost think that the defense just can't get it done, and you know, it's very tough against the precision of this guy.
Well, Josh Freeman and this Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense, they're going to have to score points because it's going to be tough to slow down Drew Brees right now.
Second half kickoff. Aurelius Ben will down it there. Last time he tried to run it out from 8, and it cost the Buccaneers. Halftime statistics, 313 yards passing by the Saints.
You look at that second quarter yards, unbelievable. 231 second quarter yards by the New Orleans Saints. Third down per usual. They've been incredible. See what Josh Freeman and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can get done.
Freeman has completed 9 of 15 for 122 yards, has thrown for 2 touchdown passes. An early start. 14-7, and then a 21-7 lead by the Buccaneers dissipated. The handoff is to Doug Martin. Martin had a 36-yard touchdown run. Doesn't get much here as we send it down to Jennifer Hale.
Well, Dick, in his final halftime message to the Saints team, Aaron Kromer said, hey, don't give this one away through simple mistakes. They're going to keep the commitment to the run the second half, but he said they've got to see more production out of Mark Ingram. Greg Schiano, on the other hand, says he thinks his Bucs team made more errors this half than they have all season. Part of the problem, the Saints are throwing a lot of things at these Bucs that they haven't seen before, and Schiano wants them to adjust better. Dick?
That's what happens, Jennifer, when you have an experienced team that's been there and a team that's just being molded by Greg Schiano. Second down and 9, play action for Freeman. Looking for a target, and a good catch made by Vincent Jackson, who has a touchdown reception in the first half. That's good for 14.
You see Josh Freeman here taking a little cue from Drew Brees. Hard play action sell, then watch him step up in the pocket, buy time, ball in position, ready to throw, and here's where it helps to have a receiver 6'5" and 230 pounds. Watch the outstretched arms by Vincent Jackson coming back to the football. Nice job by the Bucs.
5th in average yards per catch at over 18 yards. Freeman with a first down at the 35. Doug Martin. What a burst, and Martin will get a first down. Out to the 46. Doug Martin. with an 11-yard gain, and the rookie from Boise State moves the chains for Tampa Bay.
And defense in this league is about run fits, being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Obviously, that's not the case with the Saints thus far, and Roman Harper talked about that. He said in this new defense, a lot of tools at our disposal, but a lot of gray, a lot of decisions guys have to make. Last year under Greg Williams, it was black and white, a lot of gray, and when you're gray about things, there's indecision, you play slow.
And they go again to Martin, but this time he is wrapped up by Curtis Lofton, the middle linebacker, and a gain of 1. And right now for a game break, let's check in with Patrick O'Neill.
All right, Dick, taking it to Carolina, Cowboys and the Panthers. Tony Romo looking for Miles Austin. This is pretty. 2 feet in, touchdown. Austin had earlier costly fumble, but makes up for it right there with the touchdown. Cowboys up on the Panthers, 10-7. Dick and John, back to you.
All right, Patrick, thank you very much. Early here in the third quarter, the Saints leading by 7. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for Tampa Bay. Short drop by Freeman, and the ball is knocked away, incomplete. Mike Williams hit by Jabari Greer, and a penalty flag is thrown in the process.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Offense. Number 79. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
Former Steeler Javon Meredith, the right guard. Illegal hands to the face.
And you watch this Saints defense. I talked earlier about the moment of truth. You got to make plays, and they're starting to do that. Jabari Greer makes a good aggressive move. You see Javon Meredith with that hand over to the face of Akeem Hicks right there. Good call by the referee.
So now the Buccaneers are faced with a bigger mountain to climb. 2nd down and 22, back to their 35. Here's Doug Martin. Doug Martin to the 45. Martin with a terrific run. That was his 11th carry of the game, and he's gained 87 so far.
I want you to watch Donald Penn, the left tackle, with that block, driving people, opening up the hole and creating the hole. Doug Martin doing the rest. You give this guy a little space, he can make some things happen. I like Doug Martin a lot.
Last week, 23 and 28-yard runs, his longest of the year, and he broke that today with a 36-yard touchdown. DJ Ware now in the backfield on 3rd and 11. Freeman's pass, and the catch made by Vincent Jackson. Perfect timing and a perfect leap by Jackson. And the Buccaneers get 28 yards on the play.
That's where this offense thrives. If you're going to blitz, you see Roman Harper coming off the corner, you're going to create one-on-one situations. And Vincent Jackson, we keep talking about the size, but we got to talk about the concentration. Going up, getting the ball, plucking the ball out of the air. That's what Vincent Jackson is so skilled at. These big receivers, you get one-on-one situations. Josh Freeman's going to give them a chance, and most of the time they win those battles.
Had 113 yards and a 62-yard touchdown catch last week against the Chiefs. Now a 1st down at the 27 of the Saints. And here is Doug Martin again, trying to reverse his course. Gets hit, and down he goes. It was Malcolm Jenkins who made the tackle. Patrick Robinson made the hit that slowed him down, but good penetration by Curtis Lofton, and Martin will lose 4.
Now that's starting to play fast. That's not gray. That's downhill. Curtis Lofton doesn't make the tackle. Great running by Doug Martin. But then here comes the rest of the posse. Patrick Robinson and ultimately Malcolm Jenkins. You just keep coming after people. Eventually someone will get them down. Good defense by the New Orleans Saints.
So Martin goes to the sidelines, replaced by LeGarrette Blount. 2nd down and 14. Now back to the 31 of New Orleans. And here is Blount, and he's not going anywhere, and it was Junior Gillette who penetrated nicely, and another loss of 3 yards. And on this drive, the Buccaneers have had long yardage situations.
Steve Spagnuolo's got to be happy with his group because they're starting to look like the Buccaneers defense, playing in the back. Hakeem Nicks, Sheds, Carl Nicks, Junior Gillette there. You're starting to see bodies on the pile swarming to the football by Steve Spagnuolo's defense.
You're right, a lot of negative yardage on this drive by Tampa Bay. It'll be 3rd and 16 from the 33 now. Buccaneers have converted 3 of 11. It's caught, and the first catch of the game by Dallas Clark, the tight end and the former reliable receiver from the Colts, gets the ball out to the 25, and a field goal try coming up for the Bucs.
See on that last play, the Saints saying, look, we're not going to let those big receivers get us one-on-one. That opens it up for Dallas Clark. Problem is, it sets Connor Barth up, but I'm not sure field goals are going to work against Drew Brees, because how are you going to stop him?
No, we said that. They need 7s against Drew Brees, especially the way he's played. 42-yard attempt for Barth, who's 10 of 11 on the year. And this kick is no good. So they didn't even get the 3 out of it. Only the 2nd miss of the year for Connor Barth.
Swarming defense starting to show up for the New Orleans Saints. Where it's been, I don't know, but it's here today.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Bud Light, the official beer of NFL fans. Here we go. By Chrysler, imported from Detroit. And by Burger King and the delicious new holiday sweets.
Well, this isn't the recipe against Brees and the Saints. Connor Barth misses the field goal. Bucs had it for 6:45 but did not score, missing the field goal, and now Drew Brees takes over, hands it off to Pierre Thomas. And a pickup of 4 yards. Take a look at the Saints offensive leaders, and they've had a few.
Is that any good right there? My goodness. But again, it's the commitment to the run. It necessarily hasn't been ultimately successful. Not huge yardage, but the fact that they're doing it, it's allowing Drew Brees to have this success in the passing game.
And you're right. You show it, even if you don't gain it, and they've got to respect it, and then all of a sudden you go up top.
And you keep showing.
2nd down and 6. They have 38 yards rushing. And here is Brees. Brees going up on top. And the ball knocked away, and it's by Morgan with double coverage by Rondé Barber and Mark Barron. And they wanted to go again to Morgan, who caught a 48-yarder for a touchdown in the 2nd quarter.
I tell you what, Buck fans, you're going to be enjoying Mark Barron, this strong safety, for a long time, because he's going to be a great one. You see Mark Barron, he's known for his hits, but this guy can do it all. That's what great safeties do. He's going to be a special player for a long time around here in Tampa.
Now 3rd and 6. Colston in the slot to the right. Brees' pass knocked away. Wanted to go to Colston and Eric Wright. The former Detroit Lion broke it up, and the Buccaneers force the Saints to punt.
And I like that. Earlier in the first half, we were seeing 3-man rushes from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. That time, they came after Drew Brees, and then at least you put him in one-on-one situations. Eric Wright did a great job of winning that one-on-one situation. Thomas
Morstead kicking, and Roscoe Parrish will let it bounce. And a flag is down, and Morstead slow getting up, and E.J. Biggers might have run into him or roughed him. Now, if it's a running into the kicker, they get 5 yards, and they'll be short. But a roughing the penalty would give the Saints a 1st down.
Run into the kicker. Defense, number 31. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
See Morstead and E.J. Biggers coming off the corner. I don't know, you tell me. He did run into him, I guess, but the big thing for the Bucs is that it was just the 5-yard variety, and so they get the punt again to the New Orleans Saints.
So it's 4th down and 2. Parrish goes back again, standing at about the 12. No one goes near him this time, and a good high kick, and the fair catch as it goes out of bounds near the 5-yard line.
Aggressiveness has been the hallmark of this Tampa defense, starting to show it in the second half.
Tampa Bay has the ball starting from the 4, so the penalty hurt them when Morstead punted again, and it went out of bounds at the 4. So twice the Buccaneers have had to start drives from inside the 10. Once late in the second quarter, now here with 7:09 to go in the third.
And you think that running to the kicker, the 5-yard penalty turned into about 30 yards difference.
Here's Doug Martin, and Martin is tackled from behind. Well, on the first 3 drives, the Buccaneers scored 3 touchdowns, but in the last 4, nothing. Only 99 yards in the last 4.
And it's the Saints defense. We see it in their backfield again, starting to play with a little more aggressiveness, starting to look like they're understanding their jobs and playing with speed. If you aren't you're gonna make mistakes, make them going fast.
From the end zone, 2nd and 10, and holding on to it is Vincent Jackson. One man coming after him, and it's Malcolm Jenkins, and Malcolm Jenkins gets to him, and they'll mark it at about the 1-yard line. Great hustle by Jenkins, a 95-yard pass play, and it'll be 1st and goal at the 1. Vincent Jackson.
Well, he's got so much trust as Josh Freeman and Vincent Jackson. He's going to throw it into some double coverage here. You see Patrick Robinson, the corner, undercut. Malcolm Jenkins, Roman Harper takes a bad angle, but great hustle by Malcolm Jenkins. You never know in this league, when you hustle like that, good things can happen.
And John, he tried to knock the ball out as he made the tackle, hoping for a possible fumble. Great hustle. Nonetheless, it is 1st and goal at the 1. Here is LeGarrette Blount. And Blount doesn't get there. Might have even lost a half a yard. So it'll be 2nd down and goal. And Jenkins, what a run to prevent the touchdown.
He's tired right now. He's trying to get his air, but he just gave his team a chance. That's why you hustle in this league, to give yourself and your team a chance. Tremendous effort by Malcolm Jenkins. I told you, Dick, I don't think he's been playing up to his potential. Play like that, you can get back on a lot of people's good list.
Jeremy Trueblood is an extra offensive lineman, number 65. Dallas Clark going in motion, and here is LeGarrette Blount, and Blount is not going to get there either. And Roman Harper, don't call him a linebacker when he plays up on the line. He says, I'm a safety, came up to make the play, and a gain of 1. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Roman Harper with the tremendous play, and that's what he's done all year. Took a bad angle on that long pass, but watch him come off the edge on the top of the screen against a 250-pound guy like LeGarrette Blount. You just hit him and hold on. But again, the hustle play by Jenkins giving this defense a chance.
3rd and goal. They go to Blount again, and he's going to be stopped by Malcolm Jenkins for no gain. And it's 4th down and goal at the 1.
And I tell you how appropriate that Malcolm Jenkins makes this tackle coming off the edge, because he's the guy who gave them an opportunity to be in this situation. And these hustle plays, man, I'm telling you, I've seen it too much. When guys do it, typically good things happen.
And they have to go for it because they thought they might have had the touchdown were it not for Jenkins. What about the play calling here?
Well, they think we can get it downhill. I would be surprised to see not to see a play action pass here.
And it's a play action play. Freeman not going to get there. And the Saints will take over and watch their bench. They are elated as if they just won the game. Cameron Jordan going after Freeman, and it all goes back to Malcolm Jenkins' hustle, running 30 yards from away the play to stop Jackson from getting the score. Malcolm Jenkins prevented the touchdown, 95-yard pass to Vincent Jackson, and then the Saints defense took over, first and goal at the 1, and wouldn't let the Bucs in.
Plays like that, you can look back on years and say, remember that time Malcolm Jenkins just would not give up, track down Vincent Jackson. Big time play.
First down from the 5, Pierre Thomas with a couple of yards.
Speaking of that play, going to freeze it right about here. That's Malcolm Jenkins. Vincent Jackson's about 5 yards ahead and 30 yards away, and this is just all-out effort. You give your team a chance, and your team came through. What a play by Malcolm Jenkins.
In a one-touchdown game, that could be the game saver. Second down and 7 with under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter from the end zone. And the pass is caught well shy of the first down by Jed Collins. And want to remind you to call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile now and get coverage of every NFL game.
These third downs, we talked to the Buccaneers this week, visited them with them on Friday. To a man, they said third down's critical because when you get off on third down, less snaps for Drew Brees. Hard thing to do, easy to say, hard to do.
6 of 9 on third down conversions. The Saints need 6. Brees going up top, and Lance Moore makes the catch and knocked out of bounds in a big gain near midfield. Mark Barron provided the hit, but not before Lance Moore made the catch in a gain of 35.
And another three-man rush for the Buccaneers. Last series, they come after him, they get off the field. If you're going to rush this guy with 3, he will eat you up. He manipulates Mark Barron with his pump. Lance Moore, been Johnny on the spot today. You cannot rush at Drew Brees with 3 people and get off the field.
Season's high, 8 catches, 119 yards. Mark Ingram, flag is down, and Mark Ingram close to another first down at the 45 of the Buccaneers. But a penalty flag thrown at the 45.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's going to be offsides on the Bucs, and that play will stand. And Mark Ingram must have got the message at halftime because he looked like he was running with a little more urgency there.
Offside. Defense, number 95. That penalty is declined.
Gary Gibson, you're right, offsides. So Greg Schiano's team having to go against the tremendous offense engineered by Drew Brees today, but maybe never counted on the great hustle of the defense, which has come up big. First and 10 at the 46 of the Bucs. Here's Darren Sproles on the pitch. Sproles may have another first down, and does, to the 35 inside, and a good block by Jermon Bushrod, the left tackle, gaining about 12.
That's just a good design and tremendous execution. Watch Jermon Bushrod get outside. Devery Henderson cracks down. He blocks out. And I keep saying it, but you give Darren Sproles a little bit of space, he will make you pay.
25 yards rushing, 24 yards with 3 catches for Sproles. First down at the 34. Brees quickly gets it to Colston, wrestled out of bounds by Eric Wright. And a gain of about 4.
You're getting to a stage, Dick, where it's going to take a turnover for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's tough to get Drew Brees off the field on third down. It's going to take a tip ball like we saw early. Rondé Barber stepping up. Someone's got to make a play to turn this tide of momentum that the New Orleans Saints clearly have.
Buccaneers trying to get to 500 at 3-3. Beat Kansas City to end a 3-game losing streak last week. Pierre Thomas, and he'll go down as Levante David. So an inspired play from the defensive group of the Buccaneers, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. Loss of 3 yards. And that is the end of the third quarter here in Tampa with the score, the Saints 28 and the Buccaneers 21. Fox NFL Sunday returns after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. And we're back here in Tampa for the start of the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton, along with John Lynch and Jennifer Hale. It's Malcolm Jenkins who's made the play of the game to save a touchdown. And Saints have a touchdown lead as we start the fourth, 28-21. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Talk about the play of the game right here. They need to get Drew Brees off the field. I would suggest bringing more than 3 rushers.
Brees' pass, and it's going to be ruled incomplete. David Thomas, who has a touchdown reception today. So it'll be 4th down from the 33. And the field goal team is on. We've had nothing but touchdowns today. The Buccaneers missed a field goal try after they held the ball for nearly 7 minutes. So Hartley attempting a 51-yarder. Flag is down. Oh, false start penalty against the Saints.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, making a disconcerting move in an attempt to make the offense false start. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And a critical penalty here, and Greg Schiano is enraged. The initial signal was a false start, and then they said there was a reason for it.
You watch it, and they said making a signal such that the offense would jump up. And it's that quick movement. I don't know, a quick movement to try to get the Saints to come off. They call unsportsmanlike conduct on the Buccaneers, and Greg Schiano clearly doesn't like it.
Well, it was nothing like taking a knee at the end of a game, as the Giants tried.
Sometimes they'll get you for saying things like Beckset right before, and it looks like they had a quick shift. They call unsportsmanlike contact, just a critical mistake by the Buccaneers.
Giving the Saints a 1st down on the 18. And now we have whistle, and the flag is down, and a false start penalty indicated here.
False start. Offense, number 85.
David
5-yard
Thomas.
penalty. Still 1st down.
And Dick, you do all that work. We know how hard it is to get off the field versus Drew Brees. You set up a 51-yard field goal and that penalty. And now the Saints are down here. They get a false start. It's not set. But what a critical mistake for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
14:54 on the game.
Tavares Cadet, a rookie from Appalachian State, makes his first appearance, number 39, and he split wide to the left on 1st and 15 at the 23 of Tampa Bay.
Marcus Colston in that slot right there.
And the pass caught by Sproles. Sproles getting to the 15.
And to think they're doing all this without Jimmy Graham at your disposal. A guy who had 99 reception last year, 11 touchdowns. And Drew Brees did not blink. We sat with him the other day. I said, Drew, that's a big loss, Jimmy Graham. And he said, absolutely, but it means more opportunities for other guys, and they have stepped up.
Lance Moore with 8 catches. Colston with 5. Sproles out of the backfield for 4 receptions. 10th play of the drive here, 2nd down and 7. And the pass is incomplete. Try to get it to David Thomas, the tight end. So it'll be 3rd down, and the Saints, who had a 51-yard field goal attempt, then improved because of the penalty. Now the ball on the 15, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7, and Brees' pass caught by Colston, and a first down, and tackled at the 5 by Eric Wright. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 5 for the Saints.
We talked about this area of the field. Marcus Colston, we're going to just see him on the inside of our screen. One-on-one, Drew Brees will take this matchup anytime. Marcus Colston on Brandon McDonald. It's another win for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, after not allowing a touchdown pass in 3 straight games, Drew Brees has struck for 4 in the first half. We had a scoreless 3rd quarter, and it'll be 1st and goal. And here is Pierre Thomas, and Thomas close to the goal line. Touchdown! Thomas gets over.
It's all starting to come together for the New Orleans Saints, and you ask yourself, can this team make a run? Well, if they start playing defense like this, they commit to the run like this. This is just good effort. Inspired football, a surge from the offensive line. 2nd effort from Pierre Thomas, carrying Gerald McCoy into the end zone. That's good football.
And they can open up a 2-touchdown lead, and those watching down in the bayou, and the families close, especially to our LeBron Robinson, have to be very pleased with what they're seeing in this game. Garrett Hartley with the extra point, and the Saints have opened up a 2-touchdown lead. Penalty started it off here, improved the Saints' chances. Ciano enraged over that one, and then the touchdown by Thomas, 35-21, still early in the 4th.
This game is sponsored by Subway. Run to Subway this October for the Meatball Marinara featured $5 footlong of October. By the Samsung Galaxy S3. The next big thing is already here. And by Volkswagen. That's the power of German engineering.
Well, it's a strange game sometime, as Greg Schiano, during the break, still talking to the officials, complaining about the move by Mason Foster, apparently, that forced Bushrod to have a false start. Williams Ben is back deep, and Morstead will kick off. Strange game, and that 95-yard drive by the Bucs produced no points, and then a 95-yard drive on 12 plays produced a touchdown.
He's not saying, have a great holiday.
Early here in the 4th quarter, the Saints lead the Buccaneers 35-21. And the 35 points are the most that the Saints have scored this year. Drew Brees has thrown 4 touchdown passes, all in the first half. And now Josh Freeman trying to rally the troops, 1st down at the 20. Batted down. Mike Pereira out in our LA studios is there. They called the unsportsmanlike conduct, Mike, on this field goal attempt.
Yeah, hey, you might, Schiano might have got away with that at Rutgers, but you're not going to get away with that in the NFL. You shout a signal from the linebacker position to create a movement that's disconcerting signals, clearly against the rules, and a foul on the defense. And it makes no difference if it draws a reaction by the offense. You cannot use disconcerting signals like that to try to draw a false start. That's absolutely the right call.
Mike, thank you. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Doug Martin with a couple of yards, bringing up 3rd and long.
When you think about the recent events in this game and how it could be a different game, first of all, you have Vincent Jackson breaking out with which looks like a touchdown. Great hustle by Malcolm Jenkins, and then that's followed by the Bucs finally get off the field on 3rd down, only to have disconcerting signals, whatever that means. And it's just, that's the difference in this game right now.
And even before that, they had the ball for 7 minutes and miss a field goal by a normally reliable kicker. So Buccaneers want to talk about missed opportunities, to say the least. It'll be 3rd down and 7. An injury to Jeremy Zuta, the center, which is why we have the timeout. And we're going to take a timeout. Nearly 2 minutes have elapsed here in the fourth.
Sponsored by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible.
Who is that guy wearing 47?
I don't know. I don't know.
Everyone knows you. You may not know. They know you. Every time you come back to Tampa, one of the greats, Hall of Fame credentials. My partner, John Lynch. You're an all-star at this like you were at the other thing. 3rd down and 7. Freeman's pass bobbled but caught by Mike Williams, but short of the first down by a couple of yards. He got 5 out of it. And they're going to punt. Jabari Greer made the tackle.
And you talk about where Josh Freeman's got to grow a little bit. Drew Brees right here, you hit the guy in stride, and then he goes and gets the first down. You throw a low football, Mike Williams has to catch it twice, essentially. It gives the time for Jabari Greer to come up and make the tackle. The difference, the little things, the precision of Drew Brees, that's where Josh Freeman's got to get.
Michael Kanan with the kick, and Sproles will watch it go out of bounds. I'll tell you what, John, you still have the guns. There's no question about that. It's there for everyone to see that comes into the Bucs complex forever.
And I think Aaron Cromer, the interim head coach for the New Orleans Saints, is going to challenge this, because as you watch this punt right about there, it's going to bounce out of bounds. And that's at the 31-yard line. Instead, it's right now spotted at the 12-yard line. Big difference there. Aaron Cromer, Darren Sproles right on top of it.
It bounced out of bounds, then came back inbounds to bounce, and then went out at the 12.
Who's on first?
So the Saints, who already lost an earlier challenge, now challenging once again, leading 35-21. 2 touchdowns, and you never know when the Bucs can explode, but this has been quite an entertaining game with Brees in the first half, the defense, and Malcolm Jenkins especially.
Now, you know, one thing I learned in my years, when you're playing against a guy like Drew Brees, there's no margin for error, and the Bucs have made a bunch of mistakes in this game, none more evident than in this fourth quarter. You know, just a tremendous play by Malcolm Jenkins, keeping them out of the end zone, but then the failure to punch it in from 1 yard out. And then the big penalty, 15 yards on the field goal attempt. I mean, it's just huge. The missed field goal on top of that, you can't have mistakes like that against a Drew Brees-led team.
And Jenkins made the great play when it was a 1-touchdown game, so he has to have made the best play of this game, period. I mean, I don't think there's any question about it. Yep.
After reviewing the play, the punt did hit out of bounds at the 31-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
So the Saints are successful on their challenge, so they have 1 left if they need it, leading by 2 touchdowns. So they reverse the call. And New Orleans will start from about the 30. We'll mark it just beyond the 30. Rough day for Greg Schiano's team, as the Buccaneers took a 14-0 and then 21-7 lead before Drew Brees with 3 touchdown passes to cap the first half, and then Thomas going over on a running score.
I'll tell you, you talk about Drew Brees, so much of his genius happens before the ball's ever snapped. And he's been in this system for so long. He's putting them in great situations against the right coverage. He doesn't put them in bad plays too often.
25-34, but he'll run this to Thomas, and Thomas will be pushed back and lose a couple. Well, this week, Foxtoberfest continues with the Fox College Saturday pregame show, Fox College Saturday. And then 17th ranked Texas Tech takes on 4th ranked K-State in a showdown between Big 12 rivals. Coverage of Fox College football begins Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. 2nd and 11, Mark Ingram in there. They've used everyone today in their backfield, and Ingram pushes it forward for a couple. Sproles has gained 26 on the ground, Thomas 22, and now Ingram
think the key stat there is not the yards, it's the attempts. Over 20 attempts rushing the football. This was a team that came in throwing it 47 times a game. 72% of their plays were passed. This gives them a chance, gives the offensive line a chance, and Drew Brees, as we've said continually, will eat you up when he has time.
More balance. Brees down the middle, and it's knocked down. Lance Moore was the target, and E.J. Biggers knocked it away. So 4th down coming up. Moore with a big day, 8 catches for 119 yards. Not that time, however. And Morstead will come in to kick to Parrish.
A really nice play by E.J. Biggers, finishing on the play, getting a pass breakup, giving his team another opportunity.
Morstead with a flag down, and Parrish fields it at the 19, but a penalty.
Like a false start on the offense on the punt team, and we'll see whether they want them to re-kick or add it on at the end of.
Illegal formation on the defense. The defense lined it up over the center. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. Tampa Bay keeps the ball. First down.
So the penalty against Tampa Bay, and Freeman, a couple of years ago, engineered a lot of comebacks. He's got a huge one to climb, down by 2 touchdowns. It'll be first down for the Buccaneers. Those are Freeman's numbers so far. Doug Martin, and 36 of those 86 yards came on a touchdown run. And Vincent Jackson, the story for him, that was a 95-yard play in which he did not get over Malcolm Jenkins, stopping him a yard from the end zone, and then in 4 downs the Bucs could not score. Jeremy Zuta, the injured center, went out before, replaced by Ted Larson, now back in the game for the Buccaneers. Scored 21 points in the first 17 minutes and none since. They start from the 19. Freeman goes underneath to Doug Martin. Martin regains his footing, gets the first down. And a good bit of running by Martin after the catch up to the 33-yard line. 14 yards.
And this can be one of two things: good running or bad tackling. 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles. We talk about the Saints wanting to make a run, believing they can. That's one thing they've got to fix, is poor tackling, because you don't win in this league when you don't tackle as a defense.
Curtis Lofton and then Corey White missed tackles on Martin. And a first down at the 33. A lot of time remaining. 9:45 here in the 4th. Freeman's pass, and good play by Jabari Greer against Vincent Jackson.
And that play just goes to accuracy. You've got a 6'5" Vincent Jackson going against a 5'11" Jabari Greer, but you got to put that ball up there where he can use his height. He underthrows Vincent Jackson. It gives Jabari Greer a chance to get back into play when he had an opportunity to make it.
Well, Josh Freeman has been the author of a lot of comebacks in the 4th quarter.
17 in his career. Now in his 4th year. This is when he's been at his best. A tall order against the Saints, because Drew Brees will get the ball back if they score.
2nd and 10. Freeman dumps it off to Doug Martin. And Martin wending his way to another first down. Still on his feet and gets into Saints territory, and a penalty marker down. An 18-yard gain and perhaps more tacked on.
During the run, personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defense, number 27. 15-yard penalty added in the run.
So Malcolm Jenkins with the face mask penalty.
You watch at the end of this play, really effective screen pass. I don't know if he ever got the face mask. He sure got his head. But nonetheless, 15 yards added on. Picking on defensive backs again, Dick.
I know. They picked on you a lot, didn't they, John?
They tried.
I think you picked on everyone else on the field, frankly. First down at the 34, and this is a drive in which the Buccaneers need to complete and get 7. Down by 2 touchdowns. Here's a pass, and it's caught inside the 15 by Tyquan Underwood, who caught the first touchdown pass of the game. This one good for 22.
You've got to give credit to this offensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, consistently giving Josh Freeman time today. And that's a pretty ball. Tyquan Underwood knows he's going to get hit. He hangs in there, concentrates, and makes the catch. Good stuff by Tyquan Underwood in the Buccaneer offense.
So now the ball is at the 12. And Josh Freeman 3 for 3 for 54 yards on this drive.
Vincent Jackson moves to that slot. They like that big body in the red zone, much like the Saints like Colston.
First down, and it's caught by Doug Martin, and Curtis Lofton brings him down. And a flag is down back at the 22. It would be a gain of 7 pending, and the penalty will go against Tampa Bay.
We're going to get DeMar Dotson for hands to the face. It's usually a sign of that when Junior Galette's helmet's on the ground.
Number 69, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
So we'll see how the Buccaneers respond to this, but once again, another situation where the penalty, part of their undoing here.
DeMar Dotson, he stands at 6'9", so that's a hard thing for him to do. He's got to play with knee bend. Watch at the end of this play, Junior Galette's helmet's going to come off right there. Another critical mistake for the Bucs.
Now first and 20 on the 22, and the running play to Martin. And this time the Saints, led by Junior Galette, are there, knocking him back. Forward progress will be the 21. The crowd not pleased with that quote-unquote aggressiveness by the Saints. No gain on the play.
Galette's a player I like. You know, on my notes here, I say legitimate pass rusher, football player, starting to become one. And Junior Galette, that's a transition. Under Greg Williams, it was all about blitzing. They're going with the 4-man rush, and they need pass rushers to emerge, and he's a guy who has done that. 3 sacks on the year.
Second down and 20. And the pass intended for Underwood, incomplete. Good coverage by Patrick Robinson. And now 3rd and 20.
Patrick Robinson's a guy who I think's really struggled in this new defense, and talk about that moment of truth. Are you going to make the play or not? He hasn't been this year. He does right there. At the moment of truth, he makes the play. Good job by Patrick Robinson.
So now 3rd down and 20 from the 22. Remember, the Bucs got the ball down to the 12. Trailing by 2 touchdowns. 7 minutes remaining in the 4th. DJ Ware in the backfield for Tampa Bay. Delay of the game penalty against the Buccaneers. And you can see how upset Freeman is, not to mention Greg Schiano.
The fans letting them know it, but again, it's just critical mistakes. It's been the story of this second half for the Tampa Bay Bucs. You can't do it and beat teams that have guys like Drew Brees as their quarterback.
Fans discussing that very thing in the stands, as we saw.
Yes.
Penalties all even at this point, but it's the timing of the penalties, and especially when you're behind, they can really do you in. So now 3rd down and 25. Freeman on the run, throws into the end zone, and it is knocked away, and no flag thrown, and now a penalty marker down at the 11. It was Vincent Jackson covered by Corey White in the corner of the end zone, but another flag away from where the ball ended up.
Okay. Illegal contact. Defense, number 44. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
A huge penalty against the Saints will give the Buccaneers a first down.
They called it on 44, but 44 is inactive today. That'd be Albert Mack, but illegal contact nonetheless. I believe it's Roman Harper. Now he lays his hands on. I'm not so sure about illegal contact.
So now the first down. The ball is at the 22. So a new life for Josh Freeman, and his pass into the end zone is incomplete. Well covered was Mike Williams. So it's second down and 10, 6:45 on the clock.
You've seen on the last two throws, Josh Freeman trusts. He's got bigger receivers outside, and he likes them on one-on-one or even a two-on-one type matchup. If you've got two defenders, he says, my guy's better than you. They'll go up and get it. And he's trying to give him a chance right now, and really has to. Clock's becoming an issue. The score's an issue. You got to score, and you got to score a touchdown quickly.
And that's what we said. You're going to have to get touchdowns against Drew Brees and company. You know they're going to put them up. Second and 10. Freeman's pass and overthrown everyone. And another flag is down at the 10-yard line. Dallas Clark and Roman Harper was defending, and now you wonder if they're going to call it on Harper again.
Number 41.
It is, and another first down.
Automatic.
So Saints penalties giving the Bucs more chances.
See Roman Harper right there on Dallas Clark, and Dallas Clark's going to go to the ground with Harper's hands on him. Good call by the referees. Another first down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, they've had so many chances. Again, they got to the 12-yard line, John, and now they were pushed back. A couple of penalties give them a first down now at the 17. In a situation, they didn't get a TD on a 95-yard play. Kind of think they've got to go in to stay in this game. And the snap goes underneath the legs of Freeman. He's in trouble and throws it away. So a bad snap from the center, Jeremy Zuta, out of the shotgun. Could have been disaster for the Buccaneers, and it'll be now second and 10.
Just not a clean half of football for the Buccaneers. And to see the low snap off to the side, Freeman can't handle it. Just hasn't been clean football. And that's what Greg Schiano preaches. You play disciplined. You play with great detail. You practice with great detail, and hasn't shown up on the field today.
And the first time they've had to play a team like the Saints. Previous tough team they played was the Giants, lost 41-34. This is a tough division game, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Jackson, and covered downfield by Malcolm Jenkins and company. So now it'll be third down and 10. And the Saint is injured. Junior Gillette unable to get up. And he looks like he's in a bit of pain, and we'll take a timeout here in Tampa. Return in a moment. Coming up, it's the Motorola postgame show. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will be along with scores and highlights of all of today's games. Fox Sports Ticker, all of the latest stats. Third down and 10 at the 17. After the injury timeout. And a false start penalty, so 5 more yards. How about
number 83.
54 yards on the first 4
penalty.
plays of this drive and minus 10 on the next 6.
And it keeps happening. It's just Greg Schiano will not be happy. These guys will be working. Remember, they play Thursday. You know, the short week, they go up to Minnesota, but it's been sloppy here in the second half, to be sure.
Buccaneers won their opener against Carolina, lost 3 straight, and then beat Kansas City, looking to get back to 500. Still have 2 games against Atlanta. This is their first meeting against the Saints. 3rd down and 15. Ball on the 22. And the screen pass to Martin. And Martin is brought down at the 18 by Tom Johnson. Game break, Patrick O'Neill.
Oh, thanks very much, Dick. You know, Robert Griffin III continues to elevate his stature to new heights. Look at this pass to Santana Moss. Moss's second of the day. And the Redskins go up on the Giants 23-20. 1:27 left in the 4th. Still time for Eli. Dick and John, he's something else.
No question, becoming a cult figure in the NFL, Mr. Lynch.
And he's earning it. We saw it the last 2 weeks live and in person. Special player, special kid is RG3.
So now on 4th down with 10 yards to go for the first down, the Buccaneers going for it, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Here is Freeman's pass. It's caught by Dallas Clark, and it'll be 1st and goal. Clutch pass, clutch catch, and a gain of 15.
And Dallas Clark is a guy that they really need to get going. You've got 2 receivers outside. He's going to get the one-on-one matchups. He's proven to be a guy throughout his career that can win them. He does right there with a huge 4th down reception.
How many times have we seen Clark on the receiving end of Peyton Manning's passes with the Colts? And we have another Saints player shaken up. Akeem Hicks, the rookie defensive tackle. So it was Gillette a little while ago, and now Hicks.
Gillette, earlier it was the cramps. That can happen here in Tampa. It's still 85 degrees. Akeem Hicks, a big boy. Down on the ground for the Saints.
Well, 1st and goal, so all the stopping and starting and the penalties, and here the Buccaneers with 5:14 to go. Hasn't been easy to score touchdowns since they got to 21, is it?
Seems like this drive down here has been going on for 10 minutes, back and forth, ping pong. But here we are, 1st and goal, and remember the last 1st and goal from inside the 5. The Saints turned the Bucs right around.
Well, that was the play of the game, the 95-yard pass to Vincent Jackson. And Malcolm Jenkins coming out of nowhere to knock him out at the 1-yard line. And then 4 plays, and they ended up losing yardage. And that was when it was a 1-touchdown game. Right now they're trailing by 2 CDs as Hicks comes off the field. Let's see that one again. Great play.
Just tremendous perseverance, stick-to-itness. The play is never over. You go after it, and when you do, you give yourself a chance, and then go ahead and make another play, Malcolm. And then on the big 4th down, it was Jordan who stopped Josh Freeman.
Now 1st and goal from the 2. Play action. No, it's a handoff to Doug Martin, and Martin is going to be dragged down. Will Smith. And a loss of a yard. Now with under 5 minutes to go in the 4th.
And as the Saints, as they're sitting here, the Bucs still have the ball, but that clock's going tick, tick, tick. And the more they can keep them out of the end zone, it takes a couple 1st downs to seal this game for the Saints.
Martin has 85 yards rushing, including a 36-yard touchdown run, averaging over 5 yards a carry, but it's 2nd down and goal. Now at the 3. Freeman with a fade, and this one is incomplete. Mike Williams covered like a blanket by Patrick Robinson, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal.
And he's played good football today, Patrick Robinson. That's a guy who's been getting beat and beat often, and he's stepping up to the challenge today, and they need him. He's the #1 corner, and you need your #1 corner to play good football. Smart play here. He just pushes Mike Williams out of the end zone. No more force out rule in the NFL. There is none. You get him out of bounds, he's out of bounds.
This is the 14th play of this drive. Freeman holds it, fires it, touchdown, flag down. Dallas Clark makes the catch for the score, but a penalty marker thrown.
Be holding on defense, and touchdown will stand.
So Dallas Clark making 2 big plays.
Holding, defense, number 50. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Curtis Lofton was holding, and Clark with a 3-yard catch.
Here it is, right in front of your eyes. Watch the left hand of Curtis Lofton right around the neck of Dallas Clark. Talked about Dallas Clark with all the attention on the outside receivers getting the one-on-ones. He's starting to win inside.
How about the protection, giving Freeman a chance for Clark to come loose from that hold. And the extra point by Connor Barth is good, and now it's a one-touchdown game with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. A career high today for Josh Freeman, 350 yards.
Josh Freeman's played well. I mean, don't pin this game on him. He's played well. The mistakes, it's the critical mistakes that have beat the Buccaneers today.
And this is his 5th career 300-yard game. They had one last week against Kansas City. Well, tonight, Foxtoberfest continues with Game 6 of the NLCS. The Cardinals will try to clinch the pennant again. The Giants looking to force a decisive Game 7 on Fox tomorrow night. And then on Wednesday, it's Game 1 of the Fall Classic, the World Series, as the Tigers take on the winner of the Cardinals-Giants battle. No need to leave your couch. All month long, Foxtoberfest is here. Chris Carpenter, that's the guy you want on the mound in the big game, and Ryan Vogelsong will be pitching for the Giants.
It's my old neighbor
Gary
in Tampa.
Sheffield.
The old chef. That guy could hit, huh? Get up there, waggle that bat, and let go. And he sat in these seats when I was playing with the Bucs years ago. That's right where Gary Sheffield, a loyal Buccaneer fan.
A hitting machine.
Yes, he was.
So a 14-play, 81-yard drive. And Freeman with a 3-yard pass to Clark. Drew Brees ready to go back to work now. It's 35-28. And the Saints will get it at the 20 as we check in again with Patrick O'Neill.
I tell you, Dick, it was a frenzied finish with the Redskins and the Giants. First play for Eli Manning after an RG3 touchdown. He hits Victor Cruz 77 yards for the touchdown. You have time for Victor to do his dance. RG3 hit Santana Moss. Moss fumbled. That offsets his 2 touchdowns on the day. The clock is running out. The Giants are going to hang on to beat the Redskins. Back to Dick and John.
Eli is uncanny.
Fourth quarter, he's really good.
Especially in the big games, I would say. First down from the 20. Pierre Thomas running the ball. And this is a time for the Saints to run the ball and use the clock. A 5-yard gain on first down by Thomas.
And the Bucs crowd sensing the moment that they need a stop right here, starting to make some noise for their defense. 2nd and 5. Good production on first down. Sticking to the run is Aaron Kromer and the Saints offense.
Neither team has used the timeout here in the second half. They fake the run and complete it to Colston, whose extra effort trying to get the first down. Brandon McDonald grabbed hold of him.
Those are the plays that open up when you run the ball effectively. Bootlegs don't work unless you're running the football. They run the football on first down, boot on second down. Watch the quick fake before Colston even gets out of the break. Ball's in the air, and watch him stretch out. Try to get the first down.
To no avail. To now 3rd down and 1. Mark Ingram lines up as the tailback. 2 tight ends. And they go to Ingram. And Ingram gets the first down. And you talked about it earlier. This game has got to be the game to show your back. And he never had a more important carry but getting a key first down here.
Timeout, Tampa Bay.
And the Bucs call a timeout there first.
That's just good running. It's a good surge up front. It's good running by their short yardage back, Mark Ingram. That's the type of effort it's going to take.
Now let's look at the 2 quarterbacks. Brees with 4 touchdown passes in the first half. Freeman, and you mentioned it, taking a back seat, as many do to Brees, but having a superb game in his own right.
I think Josh Freeman's coming around. You know, in this offense, very complex system, new system to him. He's been finding his way the last 2 weeks. He's looked like the talented franchise quarterback that I think many people, including myself, felt they had here in Tampa.
First down, Saints on their 32. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the 4th. They're going to run it to Thomas. Thomas lunges forward, gets good yards, 5 on the play.
second charge timeout.
So a timeout called by Tampa Bay, and I always wanted to ask you this. Did you enjoy wearing those creamsicle uniforms when you did?
Absolutely. They were some lean years, I'll tell you that. I got here in '93. We were wearing the orange. Wore it for 4 years, and that's right about when it started to turn. You know, the color, my wife used to always tell me, the color's not bad. It was that Buccaneer Bruce that was blinking at you that wasn't too intimidating.
And we want to welcome those who are joining us here in Tampa Bay on a bright, shiny Sunday, and it's been a shootout with the Saints leading the Bucs 35-28. Drew Brees with 4 touchdown passes in the first half. A great defensive play by Malcolm Jenkins, saving a touchdown. And with 2:45 to go, it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Saints. Brees going underneath, and it's caught by Lance Moore. And he'll be about 3.5 shy of the first down. And now a timeout called, the 3rd and final timeout by the Buccaneers. Well, today they're honoring their heritage, wearing the throwback orange uniforms. And our own John Lynch wore his, talked about it moments ago, sported the Tampa orange. And, you know, I think, John, to be honest with you, whatever uniform you wore, you looked pretty good, whether it was Tampa Bay or whether it was Denver.
Well, a lot of great memories, as I said. And, you know, this defense got to start looking like some of the defenses I played on, because this is a critical 3rd down situation. Game on the line. You got your 2-minute warning coming. If you can get a stop here, you'll give Josh Freeman and the offense a chance to get back on the field and win this game.
Tall order to play like your defense. Here's the pitch to Darren Sproles, and Sproles is stopped shy of the first down. Daniel Teo Nesheim, a 1-yard gain. Now the Buccaneers are out of timeouts, and the clock is running and heading to the 2-minute warning. It'll be 4th down and 2, and Drew Brees with Carmichael and Schiano wants to get the play clock straightened out. And we're going to wind it down to the 2-minute warning.
Nice job by this Buccaneer defense on the big 3rd down, getting off the field. Going to give Josh Freeman a chance with less than 2 minutes.
Yep. It's the Motorola postgame show. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will be along with scores and highlights of all of today's games. And the Fox Sports ticker will have all the latest stats. Drew Brees is out there in the huddle on 4th and 2 on their own 40. What's the story here?
I've got to imagine they've got the 3 timeouts. They're just going to try to draw them off sides. You got to stay on sides if you're the Buccaneer defense.
And that's it. They gave it a shot, and now they will punt it away. Again, the Bucs have no timeouts remaining. That's the Saints' first. And a 1-touchdown game coming down the wire here with 2 minutes remaining in the 4th.
And you say, why would you do this? But watch on the left side. I believe it's Michael Bennett right there. Drew almost gets him to jump offside right about there. So nothing lost if you do and you take the timeout, but you could get 1st down, game over.
That was scary if you're a Tampa Bay supporter, and Greg Schiano. So now Morstead will kick, and Roscoe Parrish will return. And a good job today by Drew Brees, to say the least. 4 touchdown passes in the first half for the 3rd time in his career. Morstead looking to keep it in play. Parrish at the 15 and hit immediately. Good coverage there. And Patrick O'Neal with a game break. Take it away, Patrick.
All right, Dick. What a finish between the Titans and the Bills. 4th and 9 for Matt Hasselbeck. 15 yards. Nate Washington for the touchdown. Titans come back to win 35-34 and prevent the Bills from moving into first place in the AFC East. Both teams now 3 and 4. Dick and John.
How great is the NFL? Watch the end of the Giant Redskin game and the Buffalo-Tennessee game, and you've got a little bit of the answer there. Meanwhile, Junior Gillette, who went out earlier, defensive end, hurt, is back in the lineup for New Orleans. So 1:50 on the clock, 1st and 10, no timeouts from the 21 for Josh Freeman. And it's caught by Jackson. Jackson into Saints territory, down at the 42 by Jenkins. They can't stop the clock, and a gain of 38.
One of Vincent Jackson's great skills is his versatility. He can play outside, he can play inside. What a move he puts on Corey White. Freeman delivers a strike.
And this one is caught by Dallas Clark, who stops the clock by going out of bounds at the 26. Two big plays. First one was a beauty, that for 15 yards.
And Dick, a terrific job. We talked about Malcolm Jenkins on the great play earlier, not giving up. How about the Buccaneers? Everything that's gone wrong, they refuse to give in. You keep playing, and now you got yourself in situation to go in for the game-tying touchdown.
Especially that last series when they had those penalties, they were not to be denied. So they've shown poise today without question. First down at the 26. No timeouts remaining, 1:18 to go. And the pass to Tyquan Underwood, covered by Jabari Greer in the end zone, so they took a shot there, and we'll have 2nd and 10 with 1:12 on the clock.
And Josh Freeman, I promise you, wants this one back because he's got separation with Tyquan Underwood. He underthrows it too much to the outside, and a wasted opportunity for Josh Freeman and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Buccaneers need a touchdown to tie this game. Over 400 yards now for Freeman.
Saints have two safeties back, protecting these corners on the outside. It's the guys on the inside, Dallas Clark, Vincent Jackson, that may have an opportunity.
And this one is incomplete. They try to get it to Williams. And the pass incomplete, 3rd down and 10. And of course, obviously they have 2 more downs to try to get the first down. Now with 1:07.
Dick, the mindset here might be to get half of it back on 3rd down. Knowing you're in 2-down situation, you don't have to get it all here. Don't get a silly turnover. Get half of it and give yourself a chance on 4th down.
You need to get to the 16 for the first down. Freeman, and the pass is caught. You're exactly right. They go to Clark. They knew they didn't have enough for the first down. They're going to line up in a hurry. They got 9 yards. And under a minute remaining. And it'll be 4th down and 1. So it's all here for the Buccaneers.
It's all right here. Plenty of time. You got to have this first down, though. Plenty of time, but you got to have some urgency, too. They're standing up at the line of scrimmage.
Fourth and 1. Freeman, and it's caught. Vincent Jackson, and a first down inside the 10, and now we have under a half a minute to go. Buccaneers need a touchdown and an extra point. They clock it and stop the clock at 17 seconds. 2nd down and goal at the 9, needing a touchdown and a conversion to tie the game.
And why do you go spend big money on a guy like Vincent Jackson if for situations like this? You need a play. They went out and got him on the first day of free agency last year, did Mark Dominic, the general manager for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's coming through for him.
7 catches, 216 yards, and a touchdown grab. Second and goal for Freeman. Flushed out of the pocket. And throws it away into the first row of the bleachers in a souvenir for the fans, at least momentarily. And those 216 yards receiving for Jackson is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer record.
And a good play by Josh Freeman right there. He got early pressure, throw the football away, and live to see another down. With 11 seconds, you probably have 2 opportunities to go to the end zone. You got to go to the end zone. You throw it in bounds and tackled, game over.
11 seconds. 3rd and goal. Freeman's throw. No, he's out of the end zone. Vincent Jackson could not get both feet down if he got one down. And it'll be 4th and goal with 5 seconds to go.
And a great throw by Josh Freeman. A tremendous effort. Left foot down. Left foot is not down. The heel's out. The right heel's out. Good call by the back judge. Right on the spot. Again, right there. The left heel out of bounds. Right heel out of bounds. No catch. So one last shot. It all comes down to this. What a game this has been.
4th down and goal from the 9. And the Saints will call their second timeout to set up their defense for this one final play barring a penalty.
You know, really interesting, the cat and mouse game, because last play, that play that Jackson was out of bounds, Steve Spagnuolo decided to come with pressure. What's that mean? That means one-on-ones with guys like Vincent Jackson. The thing I would do, you can just defend the end zone. They catch it in front, as so long as you tackle them, game over. Play that picket fence defense on the end zone. Do not let them in. I'd be hesitant to come after them and create those one-on-ones.
Well, the Buccaneers scored 3 touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. Saints were trailing 21-7 in the first quarter, and since then it's been 28-7 all New Orleans. And Drew Brees with 4 touchdown passes in the first half. And I guess you always have to worry about Josh Freeman taking off and running himself when you're only 9 yards away.
This is a long way to go, and Josh, I don't think that will happen, because he knows he's tackled. Game over. Vincent Jackson out here. Mike Williams up top.
So this is it, 4th and goal with 5 seconds to play. Freeman in trouble. Fires. Touchdown! Mike Williams! And a flag is down. Penalty marker down.
We're going to watch Mike Williams work the back of the end zone. He does step out of bounds, as you'll see. He's pushed out of bounds, but if you reestablish your feet, you become an eligible receiver.
Illegal touching by the offense, number 19. The player stepped out of bounds, came back in bounds, and was the first to touch the pass. By rule,
still ineligible, apparently, if you step out of bounds. And the game is over, and it ends on a penalty when it looked like perhaps the Buccaneers had gotten to within a point and an extra point of tying the game.
And what a valiant effort by both quarterbacks here today. Josh Freeman fighting till the end. Smart play, pushing Josh Freeman out of, or Mike Williams out of bounds. Shame that the game ends on a ruling like that.
Great drama at the finish. And the Saints have now won 2 in a row to go to 2-4. The Buccaneers dropped to 2-4. 35-28 New Orleans over Tampa Bay. We'll be back to Tampa in just a moment.